Yeah.
Good boy.
So on NZD USD in the 15 minutes time frame. We're going to have that same area as our point of interest right there. Our same area. Can you see how sweet the correlation is? Almost around that same area we're looking at on NZD USD. We have that on the AUD USD. If you go on 5 minutes time frame, you see some sort of equal bottom, equal top right here. Liquidity sitting up here. I'm going to have another point of interest around this area. So I have my institutional candlestick sitting right there, equal top right here. So I want to be seeing, let's compare AUD, USD. We could be seeing that there is another manipulation about to happen. AUD has already formed what? A high. However, look around this area on NZD USD. We still haven't broken above the high. Give me a one in the chat box if you can see what I'm pointing at right now. I believe it's making sense to somebody that divergence, that sort of manipulation I said is going to happen. I haven't even compared 2 or 3 pairs. Already we've seen divergence happening in AUD USD. Twice this morning already. AUD has already broken that high, created a new high, but NZD USD is still below. Let's turn it into it's still below. Hence, I'm gonna need NZD USD to push up. Actually, that gives me the setup right there. I don't need to be looking further. Let's go back on the candles. We've already mitigated this one. Let's go on a 1 minute time frame. We could have NU doing this and dropping. So our NU set up, because of the equal high I have right here, I'm not comfortable taking this trade. So I'm gonna stick with us taking AUD USD because this one does not look clean to me. If I really want to enter, Bailey, you will have any question? If I really want to enter this market right now, my best shot is going to be here. Let's go back on the 3 minute time frame. My best shot is going to be here with my stop loss there. I'm going to be very, very tight because I don't like the NZD setup. This setup is only valid when price hits this zone at the same time as when price on AUD USD hit this entry. Note, very careful on this. Listen and listen very careful. The setup I'm giving you on NZD USD is only valid when when AUD USD is at this entry and NZD USD, where is it? Lines up at this entry. If you don't get that happening, then do not take the NZD USD trade. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a 2 if that makes sense. Thank you. All right, so the other pair that we spoke about was AUD NZD. So AUD NZD, I need to take this off because the pattern is now invalid. For AUD NZD, we're broken market structure right here to the downside. So now I'm going to need price to mitigate of this institutional candlestick from the 4-hour time frame. So this will be my setup right here. This is what I look for. With my first TP here, my second TP, will be here. Whoever that asked about AUD NZD, I hope that is clear. I think it was Antonia, wasn't you? Yeah, this is what we're looking for on AUD NZD. Let's go on the 2-hour time frame. We can see clearly the imbalance sitting right there, break of market structure. And actually, we could have a harmonic pattern. We are a harmonic squad. So let's see what we got. There's a back pattern right there. So X to A to B, B to C, and C to D, 88.6 right there. Good. So we could actually reduce our risk by taking our entry there. Because I have the harmonic pattern, I'm going to increase my stop loss above the harmonic entry to there. Does that make sense, guys? We trade harmonics, hence I've put the harmonic pattern on. If you go on the hourly time frame, this is how it's going to look like. We can have our entry right there, the imbalance fill. We probably will not be able to complete the harmonic pattern, and then we shall start seeing the drop. Oh, that makes sense. Give me a 1 if makes sense. If it makes sense. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good, 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 good. Any other pair, GBP, JPY. Just like I said, guys, GBP pairs are going to be very slow today. Before I look at this pair, let's see this. Okay. We could be having a galley. We could be having, harmonically, we could be seeing a galley pattern right here on G. My BOS would have for a sell. Oh, okay, I understand. Can you send your chat through here? Send your link here and then let me have a look. Yeah, so there is a galley pattern on here. There is a little break of structure here. However, we have formed a high and we have refused to form a lower low. So GBP JPY looks bullish at the minute. It looks bullish. Yes, we do have a break of market structure here, but if we had broken this structure right here, that would have been a major break of market structure. So I wouldn't be surprised to see GBP JPY push higher before it drops. So I want to see something like this. We could push a little bit higher and then we will drop. So this is what I see on GBP JPY. Any other pairs you'd like me to look at, put in the chat box for me. All right, I sent AUD, I think CHF. On Friday. Let's see how it's doing. I sent this on Friday. Our first entry has already been triggered. We missed our second entry by I think 1 pip or 2 pips. And currently in profit. We have a break of market structure beautifully on the 1 hour time frame, which let's see if we can find a re-entry. A nice break of market structure right there. So a re-entry area for AUD CHF will be around 0.66559. 0.66559. And if I'm to plan this trade, let's go on the 5-minute time frame. And there's no self imbalances around that area. Everywhere is being manipulated beautifully. So we could have our entries sitting right here. 0.66556 area. And then for the re-entry on AUD CHF for a sell, we'll be looking around this area for our entry. Our stop loss will be there. And our TP will be targeting the first TP. We'll be targeting the first TP. So that will be 1 to 14 trade. If we get that re-entry to trigger, that is what we'll be looking at. All right, Euro USD. Pami, your trade is already in profit, so I don't know why you're still asking me to go over it. Yeah, this is what we have on Euro USD. Cipher pattern.
Hi, Francis. You'd mentioned in the group chat that hold on, sorry, I'm just checking it. You were watching for sell break of structure on a smaller time frame. Do you mind just showing me where that would have been, please?
Yeah, let's see, I see. So,
Hey, Francis.
hello,
It's Monty.
hi, you all right?
Good, thank you.
Good, good. Can you give me a second while I answer the question of Pami? Then you can talk. Is that all right?
I'm just happy to hear your voice. That's all I need to hear.
I'm so good.
I'll now just listen to you.
Let's enjoy. Okay, so on Euro USD, I had my point of interest at 1.19252, and if anybody in the group chat, because I posted this trade in the group, if you took my entry, that would have been a sniper entry right there for you. We sniped it around 1 a.m. this morning. And the break of market structure that I said on a smaller time frame to watch out for is literally, this is the last low that created this high. So the last low right here that created this high. Before I will happily stay in Euro USD for a sell, I need price to break below this low and give me that retracement before we continue downwards. Does that make sense, Pami?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Good. So this is what I mean by watch for break of market structure on smaller time frame. So if, as you can see right here, price went straight for my entry, and you can see there was Y cup schematic right there. Buy climax, automatic reaction, secondary test, sign of weakness, UT, and then we had a U-turn straight away. And look, we had the test of the U-turn. Potentially, Euro USD could give us a re-entry over here at 1.19196. We could see a re-entry right there. Let's look at it on the one minute time frame. On the 3 minutes time frame, we still see the imbalance on the 3 minutes time frame, which is good. On the 1 minute time frame, we still see the imbalance sitting right there. So Euro USD could potentially give us a re-entry at around 1.19202 with our stop loss on the higher. If you're not in the trade, if you are not in the trade already from my entry, then that is what I want you to be looking at. And on the 1 minute time frame, you could see we have a cipher pattern on the one. I'm doing all this because we trade harmonics. So I need to put the harmonics that I see on for you. We have a harmonic pattern, harmonic cipher on a 1 minute time frame. So I have people asking me, Francis, what time frame is best for you to trade harmonics? I'm like, any time frame. I don't care what time frame I see it on. This is why. So a cipher, oh my God, lining up on my point of interest. Boom. 78.6. Can you see that, guys? I marked out my point of interest. I wasn't looking at the cipher. I just measured it, and it's lining up right there at the D. So potentially we could have the Euro USD re-entry of a sell around this area, 1.19.202. Then we can sell it down. However, if this trade goes wrong, I don't want you losing much. So our stop loss is only going to be 9 pips. 9 pips stop loss. Our stop loss will be at 1.19299. Take note, 1.99299. If you enter at 1.19202, your stop loss is going to be at 1.19299. 9 pip stop loss. That is if the trade goes wrong. If it don't go wrong, then you will be targeting on our time frame. Our first TP will be around 1.18. Wow, that's a very, very good trade right there. That'll be 1 to 6 for TP1, and TP2 will be 1 to 10. I have this set up in the Harmonics group. So once you get your entry, you know where to put your TPs at. You know where to put your TPs at. So that's that on Euro USD. Does that make sense, guys? Give me a 1 in the chat box if I'm making sense. Good, 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 good. I have 18 people on the call, and I'm only seeing five people always put in 1, put in 2, put in. Where are the rest of the people? You sleeping? Okay, 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 okay. So everything here is showing that Euro USD is going to be bearish today. AUD USD is going to be bearish today. NZD USD is going to be bearish today, which means our projection we had on the dollar currency for the shark pattern right here could actually manifest and give us that bullishness. We've actually broken market structure on the DXY. We broke market structure, so we could only see a reaction of the imbalance right here and then go higher again. The only time I'm going to be happily out of my USD crosses sells is when dollar breaks below this area. So guys, keep an eye. If dollar breaks below this area, 92.22, if you are in a sell on your USD, AUD, USD, and you haven't hit your stop loss, take the loss and get out. Reduce your loss. Simple as that. Because that means that price is just going to keep tanking. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes, luckily, we can get price go down and then, yeah, it will reverse. But usually, I like to take the loss once it closes below here because I know it did not respect a low, a high, a lower high, a higher high. I am expecting a lower high and then a higher high. I hope that makes sense. Would you not consider the wick? No, 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 no. I don't consider the wick at all. I don't consider the wick. In terms of this is my low, my high, lower high, higher high, lower high. I need a lower high to form. If I form a lower low, it means that dollar currency wants to keep coming down. I hope that makes sense. Any more pass? Do you only mark up fit from XTA, then from there you mark up the harmonic pattern? No, Monte. I have fib levels for all the points X, A, B, C, D. I have fib levels for all of them, so it depends. GBP NZD, yeah, we are in that trade, GBP NZD. And I said to look for a re-entry around this area this morning. I was looking at this area, institutional candlestick break of market structure right there. So I wanted price to react of this area with my stop loss in here. And then, yeah, it hit my stop loss. It took me out beautifully. So I've already smashed one stop loss this morning. For all those people that think Francis never hit stop loss, that's one for you. So yeah, I do hit stop loss, and yeah, I wanted to enter and re-enter right here with my stop loss below this area, and it just smashed through it. It didn't even give me an opportunity to break even. It just smashed through it. So looking at this right now, we are broken this structure right here. If you're still in GBP NZD, I don't want you to lose the trade. So I would say put your stop loss 2 pips in profit. If you're still in this buy, put your stop loss 2 pips in profit. Right now, what I see happening is GBP NZD creating something like this, creating another low and forming divergence. I want to see, oh, it has already started. Look at that. It has already started. So I want to see GBP NZD create another low and form this divergence and then shoot up. I like it when I'm about to say something and then I just open and realize that it's already happening. So we already see the divergence on GBP NZD. We could potentially see GBP NZD create a new low to confirm the divergence and price will just shoot up. Phil, I hope that makes sense. I believe that makes sense to you. Is that clear? So DI wants me to check DAX. I don't know why people love that so much because DAX is my danger zone. However, for educational purposes, I am still going to look at it for you. I marked out this area. Don't worry, Francis. I am still going to look at it for educational purposes. Okay. I marked up this area because I have a mitigation candlestick sitting right here. I have a mitigation candlestick sitting right here. Let's stretch it. If DAX come here, I want to see a buy reaction to go higher. The reason why I want to see a buy reaction to go higher is because we have a break of market structure to the upside. BOS. And we have imbalance. And inside the imbalance, we have mitigation candlesticks sitting right there. Right? So if DAX come down here, this is where I want to see a clear buy price action to buy up again. Does that make sense, Phil? Sorry, DI. This is the only setup I'm looking at on DAX. Is there anybody on the call who's going to make a suggestion on DAX? Feel free to talk. I'm not.
No, Francis, with DAX, it's too volatile, the market.
No, okay.
I've marked up the harmonics on it, and I've done the indicators with DMI and everything. It's just too volatile, mate. You can't mark up harmonics on it.
Oh yeah. Somebody marked up harmonics in DAX.
So give us an example with the indicator of DMI at the bottom with the harmonics and the other currencies, then they can see for themselves the volatility of DAX. Please.
What is a DMI? I don't know what DMI is.
Oh, you don't know the DMI indicator?
No, I've never used it before.
Okay. Put DMI in, yeah. That one, directional movement index.
Wow. Never used it before.
So this is a currency pairs. Can you see now with the currency pairs, you know, the blue line is what you look at, you know, and you see when you look at it here, this is quite easy to mark up. Now put a DAX on. This is the DAX.
Yes.
Okay. Well, it works. Yeah, you can mark it up, mate.
How does that DMI work? What is it?
Yeah, I don't know what it does. But if
Gosh.
you can explain to the
Someone
team,
else been on the Manny Canuzes. One sec, let me get my notes.
well, I personally don't do indicators apart from RSI. The rest of it, I just look at them like, hey, what do you mean?
Yeah, it's a pressure indicator, Francis.
Oh, okay. So do you know how to use it?
Yeah. So
How does
well,
that
the way I've got it set up on my one is a bit different, but you should have a line which is the pressure, and then you have a line which is the buyers, and then a line which is the sellers. So on my one, the red is the sellers, the blue is the buyers, and the black line is the pressure. I can't really tell on your one because I don't know if you've got your settings set up.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to give you the
Change
coordinates.
that. Yeah, change the ADX to black line. And then, yeah, leave that as a blue and the bottom one maybe red.
And is there a special input you put on there?
I need to find my notes. One sec, I can't find them.
Yeah. So let me give you guys a hand with this because I've got my one set up already. So yeah, you're looking at DI length. Go to inputs. DI length is 5. ADX smoothing is 1.
No.
Right.
Yeah, ADX smoothing 1.
Okay.
Fantastic. Now draw a horizontal line on the DMI. And go to settings. No, for the line. Sorry. Coordinates and just change that to 40. Please, I'm on the phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so the blue is the buyers, the red is the sellers. And when the black line is above the 40, you know that it's a huge amount of pressure. So for example, when the blue is above the red and the black is above the 40, this is a buy entry. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what's the buy entry again? Could you explain that? The black line needs to be at 40.
So the black line needs to be above the 40.
Yep. Then the next stage after that?
The blue needs to be above the red. Or in a cell example, the red needs to be above the blue. But if you can see, if you scroll back a little bit, just before the up move, you can see where the blue is above the red and the black has crossed the 40, and then you get that nice up move there. If you just go back a little bit more where that sort of move started. But yeah, that's what that indicator is for. That's how we use it with there's a new scanner source strategy. Manny gave us this indicator to use. I hope that helps, guys.
Dan, tell me the coordinates again, please.
5-1.
5 and 1. Brilliant, thank you.
Okay, so
Oh,
that,
1 and 1.
luckily we've learned a new skill today. That's going to help us.
Yeah, so on the go live, if you go to Manny's videos, he's got the scanner source strategy up there. It's very short video, so yeah, it's worth having a watch.
Okay, is it in his favorites? Is it labeled and in his favorites? You know, he's got
it's
lots.
the latest one. If you go on there, you have it straight away.
All right. Okay, brilliant.
Harmonic
Thank you.
Scanner
source.
source.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Aren't you happy to be on this call this morning?
Definitely.
See, I love it when people come up with ideas and then help us to learn new skills every day. You don't have to stick to doing things always the old way. Be open, learn new things.
Yeah,
Fundamentally.
definitely.
Sorry, could you go through the DMI again? I need to. I'm a bit confused when it's a buy and a sell.
Okay, so what he said is you need the black line to be above the 40, and for a buy, you need the blue to be above the red. Right? 40 above 40 means there is a good amount of pressure on the market, right? And then with your blue above the red, giving you the indication that you're going to have a buy. Does that make sense?
So give me an example of when we need to buy here by using these indicators. Then.
So he was using this as an example, this area when the buy began. All right. Look where I've marked up my black horizontal line, right? And look, the black line was above the 40. The red, the blue was already crossing. If you look around here, the blue was crossing the red. So this area is where you would have entered the buy. Monty, can you see that?
Yes, I can see that.
Yeah, this area.
Yeah.
Right, and zoom in.
And then you stay in the market because the blue line is above the red now. Look, all the way till then it's all gone up.
I hope that makes sense now.
Sorry to jump in like that, but you gotta be careful when, like, I wouldn't have entered there because the market could have reversed. A bear entry would have been just a bit further back, where the black line is, you know, clearly above. And with this indicator, you need to use it with the McGinleys as well, the AO and the Stotch. So it's not just that indicator; it needs to line up with the other ones. So you gotta be careful if you're just using this indicator by itself, and look for a clear, like, for example, if you just look on the left, you have a clear, you can see the blue is highly above the red, and the DMI is literally, you know, highly above the 40. That would have been a decent entry there, because sometimes it can go above, but then it just comes back down.
All right, cool. So guys, I have less than a minute on the call. If there is anything more that we can go through, then I'll finish it. If there is, let me know, and I can open back the Zoom for us to go back.
Yes. So Francis, one question: when you do your harmonic pattern, do you want your imbalance and institutional